Oh yeah, I know people wondering, okay, how come we are starting this show late? Yeah, I have to consider the fact that my guest today is coming from, is a Nigerian, but based outside the country. Yeah, it's quite busy, so he relocated some time back, and we are proud of him. Clement, Alpha. So, like I said, my guest today is doesn't need introduction. Doesn't need introduction. It's just there's just too much to his name. Like he's so popular. Yeah, he's so popular. And for those of you who know Clement Afana, Odafe, Megwo, you know, the Midnight Crow thing. He's the one that produced those hit tracks, of course. So, baby, all those Igwe, all those, he's the one behind it. He's a very popular person. All right, but for some time now he has not been in the country, and so he's in Georgia, I guess. So he is my guest today. So the show is usually around 4, but just because so my brother is not in the country, so we have to shift the timing to 7 to 8 p.m. because he's quite busy. So it's how on a day with Christian. This is a show we do from Monday to Friday. Friday, no, Monday to Friday, Monday to Thursday. We usually have celebrity interviews, and on Friday, we do DJ mix and all that. I think my guest is around, so let me quickly have him and just stick and stay and learn. I usually say something that
Someone else's story could be your own lesson. Boss, hallelujah, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Oh, sorry. Good evening from Nigeria, sir.
Oh, good evening. So sorry. So sorry.
Bro, I'm sorry. Forget your color. You're still Nigerian, sir.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Boss, do you know that the last time I saw you, okay, I think the second last time I saw you, apart from Maryland, I came to with someone to have lunch, and a client
Mhm.
actually that was supposed to give me an event, a wedding event, and the person took me to the place. And I greeted you, Egbon, bros, good evening, sir. And you paid for my food. I was like, bros, what is this now?
Wow. You know, I can't even,
You
I
know,
can't even remember that. Wow.
that got to me like seriously, like, bro, kilo day, what is this? You know,
Bless
that
you, bless
I'm one of these guys that you will call that, hey, help me do XYZ. I won't tell you Jack. Bro, for your information, I'm a radio presenter,
you.
I'm an actor. Whatever you want from me, I'm available, sir. To a play, I
Thank
would.
you. I appreciate that. I appreciate it.
Then the last
Well
time
done.
I traveled was at King's Court when Edo Charles had this usual program that I used to do, celebrity
Mhm, mhm.
something. So that was last time. And I don't know, I never knew that Bros has a plan to run away from us. Bros.
Um, it's actually not running away. It's just, we're trying to spread our wings and,
That's true.
create more outlook, create more attention for Africa.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, God has given us so much deposit that we have
Mm.
talent and what have you. And but the virtue of the fact that our background and our structure limited us from being very conspicuous to the world.
Okay.
People don't know exactly what it is that we carry. They judge us based on what they've read in textbook, judge us based on what they've heard from people, without having to actually find out who are Africans and what are Africans made of.
Okay.
Part of the deposit of God in human nature is the fact that we are very creative. We are very strong.
Yeah.
God has blessed us so much that when we start to do stuff and we focus on doing the stuff, we excel as Africans. So, me being here is not just another man who runs away. Okay.
Boss, you're coming. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
So that's the journey so far, you know, based on what it is.
Now, somebody is saying for people. Stealing from Dubai. He's saying that Stealing can buy food for people for person. I go bleed some tire. He go buy me tire. So don't take advantage of bros. Okay, now boss, there's this thing we do on this show. We make sure that your story could be someone else's lesson. All right, because you didn't just wake up one morning to become the WOLE Oni that we all celebrated today. All right, it started from somewhere. But first and foremost, formally introduce your profile is so long. I got her reading. I'm like, Kilo Day, I did shop like this. You attend so many. God has blessed you with so many. So now, just please tell us, introduce yourself to us, then before we start asking other questions, sir.
Okay, so my name is WOLE Samuel Oni. People will refer to me as Ambassador WOLE Oni. I'm from Akure, Ondo State, Nigeria. And basically, I'm into music, and I'm in music industry, and I'm into music, and I do other stuff. One of my core roles as a person is to be able to take nothing to something, and that's one of the key gifts I got, to be able to help people maximize their potential and give them the platform to find expression anywhere they find themselves in the world. So
Sorry, my phone has been busy with
I think okay.
Calls, because people know that from 4 to 5 is actually the time for this show.
Okay.
My phone. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so boss, now Ambassador WOLE Oni is a music, in the past, you are the MECO of WOLE Oni Music Production, right? And there's so many other things that you are the ambassador to Yamaha to Africa, ambassador to Yamaha to Africa. In fact, you are the one behind the something you created, a dish you created on Yamaha PSR number 900, right?
Right.
Now we are celebrating you. We are celebrating a lot about you right now. But please tell us a story, how it all started. I'm sure you're a graduate. You went to school, but you said you do music. Please tell us how it all started, sir.
Okay, so you know, for me, music wasn't just what I just picked from the streets. It was inborn. When I was little, I had my brother come into the house, play all kind of music, the Shalamans, the Beatles, and all of that kind of music. And growing up, I listened to good music. I listened to classical, jazz. So I mean, that kind of formed my basis. You know, the fundamental of what I have today is because of the fact that the music was like a bedrock for me growing up as a child. And then from there, we were in a church whereby I had to play the percussion. In a church where I had to use musical instruments just to praise God. And from there, I played bass.
Yeah, they take it like, but continue.
Oh my goodness. So sorry about that. Okay, I hope everybody can hear.
Yeah,
hello, Tommy Logan.
That's on the gen, don't worry.
Okay,
you're back. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, don't worry. God will deliver Nigeria someday. Hi,
okay, bro.
I see you. So part of the growing up was the fact that I mixed up with people who are musical people, and I was able to play music with groups with different artists, Juju, Apala, Fuji, and all of that. So if you could see that I have growing up, I have a lot of style of music in my system. I have classical, I have jazz, I have R&B, I have pop, I have rock, I have apala, I have juju, I have, owambe, any kind of music you can think about that
Okay.
people listen to in Africa and across the board as well. So from there, I began to pursue music as just playing it for myself, and wasn't really thinking it would become something that I would do as a professional, taking as a career. So
Okay.
one day I had a dream. I saw myself playing to a Western audience, so to say. And that dream happened when I hadn't started playing any keyboard at all, because keyboard was my last instrument I learned. So that dream was
Oh,
very
sorry,
interesting.
sorry,
And I
sorry.
went some
Sorry, sir. You said keyboard was the last thing you learned, right? I mean, you started with which other instrument? Which instrument you started with?
I played the conga, I played the bass, I played the guitar, and then I played the keyboard as the
Oh, you never
last
played
instrument.
drums.
And I played drums, yes. Oh, I didn't say that. Yeah, I played conga, drums, bass, guitar. That's why my 5 instruments I played.
Okay.
Why I
So
go
keyboard wasn't your plan first.
No, keyboard wasn't the plan. In fact, when I started to play bass, I could tell the progression of the keyboard, but then of course I wasn't privileged to play the keyboard, because in our church we only have one keyboard and it's locked from Sunday to Sunday. So it's only open up on Sunday morning. So there's no way you can play that.
Okay.
I met up with someone and said, okay, can you teach me how to play the keyboard? And he said, oh, you're young. I was a teenager. You're young. Can't play the keyboard. Because in my church was an Orthodox church, Anglican
Okay.
church, for example. So
Okay.
in Anglican church, there were old people in those days who played the organ, who played the hymns. So the guy said, you're young, wait till when you are older. I said no. So the choir needed someone to learn the keyboard and play for the praise and worship and what have you. And I was chosen to go and learn the keyboard. And guess how much we learned the keyboard with? 100 naira. So it took the whole choir to contribute that 100 naira for like weeks.
Are you serious?
Because it was a big money at that point in time. So it was not like now, So that was the money. So when the money was given, in fact, money was now given to me singularly by someone, Uncle Dayo. It was like the person in charge of the youth. So he gave me, and I went to the place, and I got there. When I walked in the sun back and forth, and I'm like, wow, I can't do this, because I wasn't used to walking in the sun, But then because everybody in the house,
oh yeah, nah, fine man. You're not used to working on this.
So people were interested in me just playing the keyboard. They said, okay, you have to go to school. So now I had to walk in the sun just to pay the price. So sometimes I'm encouraging young people, when you're going to go to or get something that will be very valuable for your future, it will come with difficulties. It will come with stress. So you don't expect everything to be smooth. Little hiccup here, you're tired, you're giving up, you are, just pay more attention to what you love to do, and be tenacious in your pushing, and trust me, you'll come back. So I did that. In 2 weeks, I was playing the keyboard. In 2 weeks, the man was like, wow. So that was the journey of music. Then I moved to Lagos because I was going to school in Maryland, and I was in a church in Maryland where I was now the choir director and HOD for the choir, and I was playing music. But then I wasn't doing a lot. Even before then, I was going to studios and other helping people out. And trust me, my reward at that point in time was just thank you, God bless you, and a bowl of rice.
Yeah.
So now the lesson there is, anything you want to do, just do it, even when nobody is saying thank you to you.
Exactly.
See, many of us want to do something that would help our future, but then we're waiting for someone to say, oh, you did it well, or thank you. Sometimes people don't even say well done to you. People that we won't tell you, no, you're not doing it right. People will always tell you that somebody somewhere is better than you as a startup, as an upcoming person. So if you give in to that and you let that rub off on your skin, it will affect you at the long run. So one of the things that I did was the fact that I saw the picture of myself doing what I was doing, and I kept at it. Kept practicing, kept going for events when I was called anywhere to do anything. Because see, sometimes before people can pay for value of something, they have to know the value of what they're paying for. Nobody will pick a nobody and they say, oh, you're going to play a keyboard for my church and I'm charging you $1 million. Nobody's going to pay that. Because first of all, you have to be tested and trusted.
Yeah.
Until your brand is tested and trusted, people can give you all that you require. So I keep telling young people, don't come to play and say, do you know who I am? If I don't know you, I don't know who you are.
Who are you?
You know, so don't keep telling people, do you know who I am? You know, so who you have will be confirmed or determined by the work that you've done out there. Who you have will be rephrased in a way that people have seen your works and so, okay, this person is very solid, is very affirmative, you know, in terms of your deliverables. So you don't have good deliverables, you're asking for skyscrapers. So young people essentially need to understand that hard work, consistency, diligence, respect, humility, all of those things are like one box, you know, in one box. You have to give it all. You don't say, oh, I'm just doing it because I love music. And then when somebody says, I don't respect you, I don't understand what you're doing, then you get angry because you feel, oh, you don't even know me. Why are you, you know? So people have all of that intricacies when they're growing up. So for me, some of the others were the fact that when people don't know you, they struggle to want to put you on different and trust you on different brands. So, but then when God made it all, that everything happened, I did several 8 songs. You know, first song I did was for me, by the Bella Decide. You know, at that point in time, it was I think it was 2001 or thereabout. You know, and
hold on.
I've done a lot of things.
Sorry, sir. Are we in the place of that you playing keyboard for at events, at churches? I want to know when you broke into production. I want to know that period when you realize that, oh, I have to do production. Okay.
Okay, let me tell you, I've started production since 80s. But it was like something like I was helping a friend, helping this person. I would get to a studio, and I mean, how did I become a producer? I would go to a studio with a friend, and then my friend would say, he's the producer. Upon getting there, I'm the one who is directing the music. I'm the one who's directing everybody. And he's looking, everybody will say, he was the producer. I say, oh, I said, no, that's a producer. What is a producer? He's the one who is doing what a producer is supposed to do. So even before I had my hands on what it is to be a producer, I didn't understand the fact that when you're able to direct people and be able to write music and you're able to coordinate music in an agreeable way to, in a way, meet up the standard or the core of the artist, you know, that's your job as a producer. So I was doing all that in the 80s. But of course, in the 90s as well, I was recording people, but people were not paying for my fault because, hey, I had no name, nobody knew me. I was just keyboard player, just coming to studio to play the keyboard. So, but then of course, when I did some 8 songs and it became very popular, like people knew about the songs, and then it added value to what I was doing. So, like I said, I was in a church, working for a church, and then of course we all know the algorithms in church and how pastors.
I was waiting for you to go there.
yes, you know,
because I was a drummer. I was a drummer, so I understand.
And so I was in a church in Maryland, whereby the assistant pastor would call every musician a bastard. So I got upset with that word one day that he said. And I said, if you call musicians bastard, then if you have a son who plays the keyboard, who is he? And that became like a big issue. Like, okay, so I said, you know what? I'm done with church, because I realized that people just want to, you know, give you a threshold to where you must go to. If the pastor is driving, for example, or that Civic, as a keyboard player, you can't drive a Toyota Advances or drive, you know, something bigger. You know, so they want you to be like, if I'm wearing shirt of, let's say, 10,000 naira, you can't buy a shirt of 10,000 naira. Who you be? I'm a pastor. So be under me. Learn on me. That's not gospel. That's I don't want to use the word manipulative, but that's what it is. So the gospel of Christ is liberty of heart and mind, people to be expressive.
Yeah.
Be what you want to be and to the glory of God, influence your world positively. That's the gospel of Christ. To be light. Yeah. Not to be a candlelight and you're just being put outside there in the dark that you can't even illuminate so much, So the perception of people in church was the fact that you do it for God, you do it for God, you do it for God, then God will pay you one day. Yes, true, but God does not come down to pay you from heaven. He uses people to pay people.
Wisdom,
Yeah.
wisdom.
How God blesses you is giving you the right people to connect you with right people.
Yeah.
That's how you, because one of the things I've gotten into my life that have brought me big deal, connection or perhaps link up networking from people to say, oh, I like this guy. I worked with him one time. Do call him and he will give you a good job. So nobody will say I'm rated the best because I woke up being the best in my bedroom. People rated you to be the best, and because of people's recommendation. So the circle at which I was working with church at that point in time, wearing appreciating anybody, just play and go home. In fact, some of the time my salary was 4,000 naira, and I became the church admin, and I was earning another 4,000, making 8,000 naira per month. It was so difficult to leave, because you're gonna buy a shirt, you want to look good on Sunday, you want to eat, you want to, just do a little bit of fine boy, but that was almost impossible.
Yeah, fine boy. What the maintain your fine boy?
So now, one thing you must also understand as a person is that when you are joining, you are going, through your patches and rough patches thereabout. You must know your worth, know who you are. I'm not saying you must be proud and cocky. No, don't be proud. Be humble, but of course, be bold, be strong in your mindset, be very optimistic about what is obtainable for you in the future. Don't just say, this is who I am, because many people in Africa are living with so low self-esteem based on what people from different part of the world has told them. People who they kind of hold in high esteem when they said you can't do it. No, it's not possible. This person never did it. Nobody ever did it. So they judge every circumstance based on their resolution, based on their experience and what they have around them. So they use that to judge you. For example, if the first man who made the airplane or the aircraft was meant to be an African man, or probably a Nigerian or a Lagosian, so to say, it would tell you that it's not possible. It's only witches who can fly. Don't try to beat anything to fly. You understand what I'm saying? So because that's the power of mind.
Yeah.
God gave us creativity. Give us a great mind that we can create as well. So the creations of God is not just only limited on the sixth day. It also has it inside of us, which is that when we grow, when we have understanding, just like God gave Solomon wisdom and understanding exceedingly much, and likeness of heart. So likeness of heart helps you to be able to build your future, maybe to see pictures that are bigger than what you can achieve. You see pictures bigger than your account balance. Somebody wants to go and buy a land in Lekki, and you know that these lands are in six figures and above like that. And then you're earning 100K per month. It's almost impossible to say I want to go and have a land. But there comes the mindset of you having a large heart to know that, okay, what do I have inside of me? I have a gifting. If I cultivate this gifting, if I prune this gifting, enhance this gifting, and recreate myself, reinvent myself, I can make something worthwhile. Because see, people have this mindset in Africa, and I will say it. People pray more than work.
Yes, I agree.
People believe and say, okay, so 1,000, you will head. No, my brother, the blessings that God wants to give you is in your head that you are able to create. Now, when you create that thing, or you are doing what you're doing well, and you do it well, see, the difference between doing something well and doing it just anyhow. When you do it well, people will recommend you. It's from this recommendation that people will come and say, wow, I like what you did. You have good attitude. You have good character. You are able to execute what you are given to do very well without having to give excuse and say, okay, I didn't do it because I was tired. I didn't do it because there was no NEPA or there was no lights, as they would say in Nigeria, because here there's nothing like that.
Bros, know your boss now. Know your boss.
No, I mean, I'm still part of you guys. I mean, come on. I'm a Nigerian. I can't take that away. I'm not, I'm just saying that in the 21st century, there's some things that you don't think about anymore. There's some things that you do because of integrity. You do because of when you're paid to do a job, you're committed to do the job, because not because of sizing the job based on what you get from it, but because of your name. You're giving something to you. So many people don't do things because of their name, and then that is also pushing our young people these days into all kind of stuff. I had a very funny experience recently, and I'm like, wow, even trying to get a situation to go to the security or to the Nigerian security agencies, and it was such a mess. How people feel entitled to everything that you own. So when we begin to live in that kind of environment and we want to be like creative, it's very difficult, for us to find our vibes and be able to project and be on our game like that. Anyway, going away from that, you want to ask a question?
Yeah, there are questions. I'm just waiting for you to finish. You see, today's show is G's Corner with Ambassador Wole. So it's about it's all about you. Now, boss, I want to be sure. Now, it's obvious that you started from the bottom. Now you are here. Okay, because I had experience as well as a drummer. It came to me naturally, and I was playing drum. I got to know you first time. I got to know your office at off Oglano Drive. Was when a friend of mine, we were playing the same church. I was playing there. He was my keyboardist then. Okay, I forgot his name. He's tall, slim and tall. We were playing together in the Redeemed Church on the island. So that was when I got to know. Oh, I've been hearing your name. Wole is a bad keyboardist. Instrumentalists instrumentalists always have this mentality. Oh, that guy bad. That guy bad. Dave, when I calm down. But when I saw you, your thinking faculty and other instrumentalists are not same. I see you as a focused man who understands his onions and know where he's going with his life. Now, you leaving church, not doing the regular salary thing again and focusing on production. What was the song? First of all, before we talk about the song, how does it feel like? What was the name they gave you when you left church to focus on production?
They will say you're not born again. They will say you're a rebel. They'll tell you all kind of stuff. I mean, because if you bother yourself about that, I mean, no pastor is God. It's God that determines who is born again or not. So the work of being born again is Holy Spirit who determines that. So I had an understanding that my salvation is not in anybody's hand. It's with me and God. So, but of course, there's a saying that when you're hungry. When you're hungry, you can be angry. The fact that when you're not being fed properly, you'll be able to think straight. Many people say that they had a lot of creativity or things that they brought about through the fact that they were at a position or in a situation. However, situation or no situation, people should be treated well everywhere in the world.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So people should not judge you because you're not in their church or you're not a member of their choir or whatever it is. Or you want to go and sing somewhere and you demand for something so that you can be able to take care of your band or your crew. So at my time, when you play in the church, you don't demand for anything. If you say, give me money, they will conduct a deliverance service on you because you're veering off asking for things. So, now the point is in going forward, you have to know who you are. That's very key. You have to know where you're heading to. If you don't know where you're going to, it's going to be very difficult. Hello, Shem, my friend. Hello, thank you very much for joining us. So the point is, when you know who you are, it will help you to shape in your mind to keep focus. Yeah. And I've seen a lot of musicians in Nigeria who work from hand to mouth on a regular week, month, year, and nothing else is happening to them. As a matter of fact, I've seen some who work in a particular church, which I won't mention the name, and they've been there for ages, nothing, no plan, nothing they are doing than to collect the salary. And trust me, every man is bigger than the salary that is being given to. And even if you check it, let's say you work somewhere. Let's even say, how much can you earn as a musician in a church? Maybe 1 million naira. I don't know how many church pays 1 million naira in Nigeria. Let's just say 1 million.
No church in Nigeria pay 1 million naira. Nah. No.
Okay. Let's say 500,000 naira. Okay, let's say 500,000.
No, sir. No.
No, I'm just making it look good. I don't want to say.
You are prophesying.
Yeah, it's a prophecy, so that God will touch the church ministry and all that. They will begin to see
Okay.
musicians as part of them, and not not a stranger. So let's say you earn that. The more you earn money, the more your means and what you want to get into is
Yeah.
bigger.
Yes. Yes.
So what made me stop the salary was the fact that when I was in church, I was earning 8,000 naira. And the insult and abuse that comes with that 8,000 naira in a month, I'm like, no. Even though I was focused on doing it, I would come Monday to Friday, Sunday, Saturday, I'm there and I'm doing it. But then it wasn't enough, because sometimes people feel that spirituality is based on how many times you can fast in a week and how you can kabash and just all of those just hypocritical display that people want to see.
Yeah. Those
So
activities.
I was ready for that. I was ready for that. So I told the pastor of church, I'm no longer coming again. And he decided, "There's a lie, he'll come back. He doesn't have anywhere to go." Actually, I didn't have anywhere to go. 2 months, I didn't have a church. But I prayed, I said, "God, this gifting is not for me to suffer. Every gift for a man is a blessing, just for you and your world. So don't let people tell you, oh, who will hire you? You're nobody." So I waited in my house for 2 months. But after the second month, a church called me, and I was going to come there just once a week, just play on Sunday, and I was paid 25,000 naira. So it was like triple. In fact, triple with 1,000 naira extra from the summer salary. Where I go from Monday to Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturdays. And I go there every day. In fact, so on some cases, I borrow money to enter transport to go there, and they don't care. On some cases, I will work there, I won't have food. So here comes the church I just play once a Sunday. And I was playing there. And then after a while, of course, the church politics will also start. Someone start again. Then I go to another church. And I told the pastor, you know what, I'm done with collecting money from church. But I just like the pastor, and I didn't want to say, and said, he will pay me 60K to come and play just twice, just midweek service and Sunday. And I said, really, 60K? And I got into it, and that was like less than 4 months. So imagine I was collecting 8,000 naira in 7 months afterwards. I was collecting 60K. That was like, I mean, how many percent? It's like 400% over.
Yeah.
And then I said, you know what? I don't want to collect salary from church. Because one day God told me, he said, just stop the salary. I'm the one who is feeding you. I mean, if you calculate how much you spend in a month, can you compare it to how much you earn? So understanding also is very important for people. You want to do something, you have to understand it. You have to understand what you're doing. Don't be pushed to doing it because somebody says do it. Understand how to do it. Understand the reason, the reason why, the reason and the why you're going to do it. So for me,
Okay.
I got that, and and from there, I got to produce people who were paying me in hundreds of thousands and then millions now. Like, wow, and I tell you one testimony I had. Was the
Okay.
fact that that church I was playing, which I was earning 8,000 naira, which the pastor said musicians are bastards. So when after some few years, I bought a brand new car. God just gave me a brand new car. I didn't care about this one. Is not Tokumbo or Otosabo. All this was real brand new. I picked up from Salon Group in Bagada. I bought it brand new. Care about myself was 0-0. The mileage was 0-0. So I was driving it. I think about a few days afterwards, how God would just want to show people that, hey, I got you covered. That's if you're walking in His will. And I was driving on this almost like a very tiny road, whereby a car will have to stop for another car to pass. And because it was closer to my house and through there then. And I was driving in this car with my AC on and everything, and lo and behold, the person that was going to wait for me to pass was this pastor in a, the Jalopin. I don't know how to call this car with no AC. It was sweating in it. It was almost like, those kind of say, I passed my neighbor car. I don't know how to put it in Nigeria, but it was there.
Man.
It was sweating. So I just drove my car beside him. And the wife said, "Oh, is that our brother Wale?" I said, "Oh, hello, sir." And he said, "Hello." And I said, "Oh, after all, I'm not a bastard now." The man just held his strength like this. He was there. He didn't move. Because see, the thing about when you run people down without having to know what God has in plan for them is bad.
Yeah, but bros, they're not nice. They're not nice.
Yeah, because you know, sometimes God also presents an event for you for people to see His glory in you. You can't hide that. You understand what I'm saying? When that time comes, humbly, just do it in a way that, not that you're trying to ditch the man, but then it's just a way to glorify God. You know,
Yeah, that's true
that's
though.
my thing. So moving forward, I began to now see more reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing, music, helping people to become, you know, what God has called them to be. I will help artists to become able to achieve their goals, give them more, you know, platform to find expression, you know, record their music, and you know, and then we start to travel. We started to win awards, and we start to sell, you know, thousands and millions of copies of our music all over the world.
Wow, wow, bros. I swear that I'm no longer in that space. Well, at least I was there. I can relate with what you're saying right now. Okay, now
Mm.
you delved into production and you left the church playing the artist. Did you ever play with any artist? Because I did with Wala Adenuga. I did with Shegun Obe. Did you ever play with any artist?
Okay. Yeah, I did play with a lot of artists. Yeah, even when I became the WOLE, you know, I kind of sometimes will have my preference, have my preferred, you know, people, because sometimes everything is about mindset. Some people would know your worth because they've been there. You know, people like Oyenkan Winu would understand that when you say your fee to play in a gig is 1 million naira, he will pay you if the gig is bringing as much as that. However, some artists will earn 20 million naira and still pay you 10,000 naira because that's their mindset that, hey, I'm the
Yeah.
leader here, I own everything. So when I see people like that, I don't work with them. So I only work with people who respect other people. Not because you are the leader. Anybody can be leader, it doesn't matter. So everybody who work with you in the band must be treated well. The singers, the dancers, the musicians, they must all be equally treated well. Because sometimes
Yeah.
you find people who will say, I mean they call, I know you didn't call. I mean, that may be on the poster, but if you're on the poster, go and do it yourself now. You know, you get
Exactly.
on the stage, take the mic and sing the backup, play the piano, play everything yourself. It's just you that were called. So it's a teamwork. So because I was going to build a lot of teamwork with people, with artists who are ready to listen, because artists in general has this I don't want to use the word always going around like a positive kind of word.
Okay.
They go for the best, you know. When there's a best in town, they go to them. When there's a best, when you're no longer the best in town, they leave you, no matter how you're
Okay.
sacrificed for them. So I see some artists like that. Not all of them. So I see some of them that are not very, they don't have integrity. They're not committed. They don't have
Okay.
loyalty.
Okay.
So when you struggle with them, some people will have struggled with some artists to build a band. They tell you, okay, we're gonna travel together. We're gonna be like this together. Then when the traveling comes, they will tell you they want to go and organize a band somewhere because they want to share the money by themselves. So there are a lot of
Yeah.
people like that. You see them, they
Hmm.
use people that I call them users. So I'm very aware of them. So I don't work with those. When I see that you're a user, I'll give you tough time. But when I see that you're very sincere and you're very respectful, even if you're not paying me for it, there's a shows I've played that I don't collect a penny. I'll just go because I love the genuinity of the person. I love the sincerity of the artist. So for me, music became a thing of soul and heart. So it's no longer about whether you can afford me or not. If I see that your heart is right, you're very sincere. You're not trying to play games. You're not trying to be very smart because some artists are very smart, you know. And then they tell you, I want to work with. So they are checking to know which one to find. Then they'll use everybody and just use your head. You know, I mean, I know when I was growing up and we're playing for bands, you know, not to pay us, they will tell us, oh, we're taking you to America, we're taking you to London. For what? You know, they'll tell you, don't worry, just play my band. Meanwhile, the man has been paid or the woman has been paid. They keep telling you, don't worry, I will take you, we'll travel, we'll take you to travel. Do you have passports? Do you have passports?
Yeah.
Are you immigration officer? You know, all of those people, you know, you just brainwash people. You know, it's such a very terrible. I mean, it also happens here too. You know, it
Yeah.
just depends on how mugun you can fall. You know, let me use that word. So
Yeah.
you must understand your worth. If anybody's going to work with you and you're going to not paying for your worth as much, let there be an understanding that okay, you do need to help, and then have something written. You know, because right now I don't work with anybody without having to write something down. You can't tell me and say it's not fine, it's not possible. Before you get to me to work with me, you speak with my manager, Mrs. Swag, you speak with, some people that are just there before you come and say you want to, because I don't have time. So now that's how it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be very respectful of people when it comes to making use of their talents, and let them work with us. We should give value to them in a way. And I've seen how some leaders have also turned down their members, talk to them anyhow, insult them, and
Yeah.
Anybody can be in a situation today. Tomorrow it can be a different story.
Yeah.
So
Let me tell you a gist. Now, the streets I'm living in right now, there was a time I was living in a really I don't know if you're familiar with that area. So a friend of mine told me about a church, the Redeemed Church. That when we got there, the pastor is this man that likes music. So while they're praying, the only time we don't play is when he's preaching. Anything going on in church, he want us to be playing jazz. So one very faithful morning, before service started, we were there earlier. He said we start playing anything. So we start playing. I have a guitarist then. I play. You know that song, right? So he not came. He said, "What are you playing?" I said, "We are playing Ayo Akari Bobo." I said, "Is that your what? Ayo what? Play me something." In fact, I'm not playing your salary again. And that was the end, though.
Wow.
I swear down. So some pastors are very difficult to please. Now, you said something that's very touching in sense that having a respect for your brand, knowing what you want to do and sticking by it, like let other people respect what you do. That's a lot. That's a whole lot. But I wish younger people can understand this, because many young instrumentalists right now are being swayed by many, and let me just do it so long they are paying me salaries. Do you understand?
It's I'll tell you one thing. It's because of our environment, not because it's peculiar to Nigeria only, everywhere in the world. If you don't know your worth, first of all, like I said, you get yourself education, mix with the right people, have in your circle people who are going somewhere. I'll give you an example. There's some musicians that all they do when they earn good money, I've seen that a lot. Or producers, when they hit big money, they go rent a hotel. They have what kind of party in the hotel. They blow the money. Once the money is done, then they go back to phase one. When you had a good money, first of all, you have to keep, apart from fact that you want to save, plan. You have to have a plan. Who do you want to become? Have you for one day written for yourself your future? Do you write it on a paper? Even Bible says write it on a plain platform. Write it down. Where do you see yourself in the next 5-10 years? If you see yourself being a producer, see yourself being an artist, see yourself being a road manager, or see yourself owning a company or owning a small business, entrepreneur, or as an entrepreneur or anything, write it down. Now find those who do what you want to do. Even if you can't follow them, or even if you can't get a direct mentorship from them, follow them every day to see how they do what they do. Ask questions, DM them, email them. Sometimes bring them gifts. Because see, one thing about people of these days, say young people, is that they forget to realize that when you give to people who are more than you, not because they are begging for you, but it warms their heart to you to want to want to receive you. Okay. Oh, you're a mentor, or you're my this, but then you have never for one day wished them happy birthday or celebrated them on any of their occasions. And then you come and say, okay, come and teach me, come on. Because see, it's not how everybody has gotten to where they are. It's not easy. It's not just that you fell from heaven. For example, let me use Sinach for an example. Sinach just didn't become a Sinach overnight by dancing and singing. We are the chosen generation. She walked her way there. So you find people who are coming to me and said, I want to do a collab with a popular artist. Can you help me? I'm like, okay, what have you done? Nothing. You have to record something first. Nobody will just come and record it because it's coming from WOLE. You understand? You want to collaborate with a known artist. You have to at least have done like 2 to 4 singles. And they want to see how you have promoted the music, see your artwork, see your pictures, see that everything is clean, because nobody wants to identify with failure. Leave it or take it. So you want to progress in life and plan yourself. You have to advance everything you do to greatness, not just by sitting and praying every day, but you pray, you watch, and you pray, you watch, and you pray, and you plan also. I would even say faith without work is what is that. So you have to work. It's a work that you have that God will bless, and the faith is that You want to go bigger because you're working and you want God to bless the work. And through doing the work and the blessing is the fact that it will connect you with the right people who would help you to, to push you around, push you to the future and push you to achieve your best game. So for young people, I would advise everybody to start somewhere, know who you are, plan yourself, put it on the paper what you want to become. Don't let anybody switch up you and say, oh, you're gonna make it, oh, you're gonna become a millionaire, and you don't have any work you're doing. You're just playing keyboard in a place that being paid 200K a month. Miracle do happen, don't get me wrong. But it would happen when you have prepared yourself. I give you an example. When Yamaha endorsement came, for years they've been trying to get somebody from Africa. They couldn't. So when I was endorsed, they actually have been doing you've been doing a trail on me for like 10 years to say, okay, let's work with this person. And when they came to me and said, okay, we endorsed you, they still weren't very convinced in the code to say, okay, this guy can do it. But then I proved it by doing something different from everybody else has been doing in the world. I did first video, I did master classes, I did some event with them, and they were very impressed. Because some people are praying for blessings every day. God bless me, God bless me. Then when the blessing is there, do you have what it is to hold the blessing?
Okay.
Do you have right information? Have you prepared yourself? Do you have right equipment and right information to withstand that? Because you can pray that God, I want to make millions in oil, but you even know what it is. And so there's someday you were in a lounge, and somebody just said, "Well, I like what you're wearing. I want to do all business. Can you come and do that?" And then you can't tell about it, but then you are afraid you want to be into oil and gas or whatever it is. So you must prepare yourself for whatever you want to become in the future. Don't just let it become like you're there and it's just like film trick. Nothing is film trick in this world.
Okay. Yeah, boss. In fact, this is like a seminar. It's like a seminar that that I know is worth paying for. But you are giving it to us for free. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. I must appreciate. Okay, boss. Now there's this question I want to ask. I want to be sincere with us. All right. We have the celebobos. We have the master crafts who started from the church. We have the SARS on the beat. We have a lot of them who the big names celebrate as producers. But you decide to just become the Wole Oni without doing the secular things. You try to just focus on the gospel artists, and yet God still blesses you. Sir, please be honest. Did you try? Did you have that sort of going other side or maintaining Christendom and all that? Tell us the truth.
Oh, okay. Let me tell you one thing. See, God is a God of mercy. God is a God of greatness. It's not for anybody who has. If you can believe it, you can receive it. So the blessing of God is beyond the fact that you have a mindset about people who are in the gospel. This is they are poor, they don't have money. No, that's not true. The very first one that the Christians are emulating today that we pray about was Abraham. Abraham served God. Abraham followed God. Okay. However, the blessings of God is not only in cash and in revenues that you will see. It's also in other things of life, peace, good health, and all of that. I like I said, I had a dream. So the dream became a vision for me. I saw the vision, and then God told me to just stick to do His work. Okay. Now I had a conversation with God. I said, okay, I don't want to do music and be poor. I don't want to do music and be begging for bread. And he said, okay, don't worry, just do it, and I'll bless you. And you see, you can't work with God and He will let you down. It's almost impossible. It's very impossible.
Okay.
So when you commit to say, okay, I want to work with God, I want to make God look good in what I do, He will bless you. So for me, in fact, I'll tell you, I'm super busy that I don't even have time to check whether I'm doing secular or not. No, I don't. I just focus on my gospel, and because see, sometimes people also have this misconception of what the gospel is. Gospel only is not limited to church. Gospel is just the good news of God. Love songs, songs to change the world, songs to influence the world, and all gospel music as well. So not until you make it churchy that you use gospel. So for me, I stay in this terrain and I do it, and my core rule is to take any man and woman who has something to offer the world in terms of you have good message, because me, I'm all about message. I don't want to produce anything that a 5-year can listen to, a 5-year can listen to. I don't want to produce a music that tomorrow I'll say, oh, I shouldn't have done that. So I want to do that which is positive and help people to be able to, gain more bandwidth with God, grow in their life, have a better structure of themselves. So gospel music for me is my best bet. And I have no regret with it. And I'm very blessed.
It's not as if we can't do the.
They come to me a lot of time. And I just
Are you serious? Are you serious?
Let me tell you one thing. Let me tell you a story. When I produced Igwe, I
was going there. Not yet.
Okay. You want to have something? Should I say?
Yeah, I'm going there, but I was waiting for you. I was going there, but I'm waiting for you. Okay. Now, first of all, boss, everybody have role models and mentors, yeah. You mentioned about how your choir then contributed 100 naira for you to go learn keyboard. Now, when you grew up, or someone like me, drum came to me naturally, but I had somebody I was going to watch and ask him questions. Then I watched. That was when I got to know that you have to watch a James Mayer, I have to watch one David Weck, I have to watch all these guys to improve my skills on drums. Then I'll stop drumming. My drumming right now is myself and I in my house. Okay, I focus more on my talking business, the radio, the TV, the acting, then the MCing. All right. Now, who were your mentors? Who were the people who really groomed the WOLE that we celebrate today?
Well, let me say one thing, man. I wasn't groomed by anybody, because at that point in time, I was learning keyboard. I had people who were more envious and full of jealousy than ever. People who will play anything and cover it up, don't want you to see it. They don't want you to learn anything from them. They just like to be to dominate and to oppress you. You know, I had oppressors as people who I would say, should I look up to them? No. So the grace I have was Holy Spirit was my mentor. He's still my mentor. So God was, revealing things to me by himself. Because today I've influenced a lot of people in the music industry, a lot of people, I started to mention names, but just staying on my own and looking at people across board, when I was starting up, people like Quincy Jones, like Herbie Hancock, like Chick Corea for keyboards, and all of those guys, I look up, I like their work and I listen to them just to be inspired by what they do. But to say I had a closer mentor, because see, I realized that most of the mentors that were supposed to be a mentor, or mentors, they don't correct in love. Okay, you come to them to say this is what you are doing. They say, no, that's rubbish. It's not. You can't call anything rubbish. You can't call another man's effort rubbish. Say, okay, let's do better like this. Or this is how we can put it. You know what? You know you've tried, but do it like this. Some people will condemn you, but they will not tell you the solution. That's witchcraft. That's evil.
True that.
Yeah. So somebody come and say, oh, sir, this is what I'm doing. You said, no, this is nonsense. This is not good. You use some kind of derogatory words. You're not even saying, okay, this is how you should do it. So if you see somebody's not doing it right, then tell them how they should do it well. Don't say it's nonsense. Go and do it well. Or you have not told them what to do. You have not said anything about it to do it. So if you want to be a mentor, when you give a problem, when you see a problem, give a solution. End of story. So those that I found there were in solutions.
Mr. WOLE, we have so limited time and I have a lot to ask you. Oh gosh. Okay, you're gonna put this together here. I have like 7 minutes. Sir, please put this together. Now, and we got to know you. A lot of people got to know you with the Igwe midnight clothing that broke the market then, So now tell us the story behind those things and your last word, your advice for the young people in 5 minutes, sir.
Okay, so I came about it, like I said, Munivisa, which is the first hit I did, going to Falaka Mosin, to Tosin Martins, Lara George, Jabaron, to Midnight Crew to Curry. I mean, a lot of stuff that I've done. Give the attention for that to the glory of God. So the point is, I did that because I wanted to just give my best without having to see whether I was paid well or I wasn't paid well. So for me, it was a passion that I'm driven by. It's not just the fact that I wanted to just do it because I was going to be earning so much money. But I tell you for one thing, if you do it well, putting your best in what you do, let your heart be there. So people can tell when you do music and your heart is not there, they can tell. It will sound empty. It will be empty. So when you do anything in life, put your heart to it. Do it from your heart, from your inside. And my advice to people, who are, being with us all along, thank you guys for staying tuned. And it's the fact that I wanted you guys to know that you can be anything. Trust me. If it's possible now that we also see the first man that will fly, not in an aircraft now. Probably somebody's working on it to see. So as much as you can think about it, it's possible. And I don't want us to be restricted by our African issues or intricacies, as the case may be, that okay, we don't have life, we don't have this government, that government. You are the government of yourself. Just come out there, be nice people, because also I see this in the African environment that we Africans, they snitch a lot. They are full of running people down with their mouths. And you check their lives, they're not moving forward. So I don't engage in that anyway. I never had time to be discussing people about what they don't do right. So the first thing to do is to love people, show love from your heart. Let love be in your heart. Be very hardworking, be very diligent. Consistency also is very important. You see people, you want to be a doctor, you want to be a lawyer, you want to be a musician, you are like jack of everything, but nothing that is substantial that they have accomplished through what you're doing. So my advice is do one thing and be successful first. Succeed in one thing, and then you can move to other things. So the point is, just think about yourself to the world, because as a matter of fact, Nigeria is just a small part of the world, very small, we're just small. You still have, if you travel across the globe, you know that, man, you can't limit your mind. Your mind can't be limited. You can't think about, oh, I'm the king of Ikeja, I'm the king of Lagos. What is Lagos? You have Africa, you have Asia, you have the European, you have Europe is there, you have America, man, it's big. The world is big. So just spread your wings. That's what I can say to anybody. You want to go far, just spread your wings. Just think above your friends who are trying to compete with you. In fact, as a matter of fact, I'm not in competition with anybody from day one. I don't see anybody as a if I see anybody who's a keyboard player, I'm happy. Hey man, good job, do it, because see, the sky is big. You can find your, don't stop killing other people who are trying to do what you're doing. Don't run them down. Because in Nigeria, when I was there, people would run people down to get a job. Trust me, you get a job. Let's say, for example, the job pays you 10 million naira. Won't you finish it? How much is the land in Banana Island? Does it even buy a land? So the point is, there's no amount of money you want to make to snitch your brother. There's no amount of what you want to achieve to kill your brother. Just achieve what you have to achieve by yourself and let it influence your world positively. That's my last group of people. Just be positive. Have a good heart. Just wake up in the morning and show love to people. Don't remove hate, remove jealousy, remove envy. Because I see that a lot among musicians and the industry, the hate and all that. It's not helping them really. It kills your mind. You're not creative because the hate is eating into your heart, and trust me, it's not gonna help you. Yes.
Oh, Ambassador Woloni. Have you thought of becoming a pastor or a motivational speaker? Because you are dope.
Well, I don't have to ascend the mantle of that. I'm a pastor already. When you do God gonna call you to be, you're a pastor. Pastor doesn't have to be a caller pastor. Just what God has called you to be, whether you are a nurse or you're a doctor or you're a cleaner, as long as you do very well, then you're a pastor. It means that you're carrying God's word to people. People will say, wow, I like you. I feel God in you. That's what matters. It's not about pastor, because there's no pastor in heaven.
Yeah. Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate. As in, this is your morning, this is our night. You took out your time to want to honor. I appreciate, sir. And shake on, sir. Mr. Wole, God bless you. That food we ate at the place. When you come back, please let's go back and eat again.
Oh, sure. Now that